Welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and today I'm in Wednesbury. What I want to do on this video is take you along Walsall Street and which leads on to Wood Green Road. Now I did a video a while back coming down these two roads, but I don't think I covered very much on that video, so I thought I'd come along again today and show you a little bit more of these two very extraordinarily busy roads. And we're going to see what we can see, because at one time it used to be full of history. Lots of pubs, lots of buildings, colleges, shops, you name it. It had them all down Wood Green and Walsall Street, but we'll have a look now and see what we got left. Well, welcome to Wednesbury town. Back in Wednesbury. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down Walsall Street and then onto Wood Green Road. I did a video around here before now, but it was a while back and I don't think I covered everything. But I'll tell you something, here was a chip shop where Bet Fred is. Now ahead of me is at the Bellwether, and it's run by Wetherspoons. It used to be the Bell, and it was the Bell, and it was built there in 1818, you know, but it was extended in 2000 when Wetherspoons took it over. I also remember it was a job centre for a short time as well. But you see, with this perfect bunch florist, now correct me if I'm wrong, but was that once a newsagent's run by a very old lady way back in the, I think I remember it had been opened in the early 80s. And it was always a dark and dingy place, and she always used to have adult magazines, shall we say, pegged up on a washing line behind the counter, all on display. And of course you can see this is the familiar site now with this 60-foot tower. It was once was the Gormont and the Odeon Cinema, but it was originally called the Picture House when it opened way back in 1915, but it was reopened, refurbished, rebuilt for 1938 when it was the Gormont, and 1964 it became, I think it was the Odeon in 64. It closed in 1972, but not long after it became the Silver, and that had English and Indian films until 1974. And it became Walker's Bingo, as you can see. You can just see underneath the black covering there on the canopy, you still make out the word Walker's. And it closed for Bingo in 2010. So we're talking 15 years now it's been in this state. Now Walsall Street would continue round this corner, because there was none of this orbital road here until the very early 70s, 1972, 73, when it was completed round here. So Walsall Street, this block here, would used to be a builder's yard, would link up with a corporation yard just over there, where the High Bullen sign is, and next to that would be the public baths and a free library, and it was all built there in 1878. There was an educational building as well just on the corner, and that didn't go. That stayed there for ages, that did. I'm sure it was still there in the late 1980s, early 90s, I could be wrong. And we got what once was the Conservative Club. I think it was a residential property many years ago, before the turn of the 20th century. I think it was an industrialist who kept it, who owned it. And where we've got that, you can see that building there, that was once known as the Bolero Ballroom, but it was part of the Conservative Club. Behind there used to be a bowling green, but I don't know what's behind there these days. But as you can see now, it's Churchill's, and it has been there, it's Churchill since 2016. And there is the Wednesbury Library, which has been there since 1907, built with the help of Andrew Carnegie, a Scottish philanthropist who gave £5,000 to the borough to get this built. Just ahead of me there we got Holly's Drive, and yeah, Holly's Drive was famous way back when. There was a huge mansion at the top of that hill, but it was demolished in 1970. And at the very top, just almost at the top on the right, number 11, was where the famous actor Richard Wattis was born. He was in the films, the St Trinian films, situated on this site. Oakswell Hall it was called, and it was, well, I don't know why it was demolished, but it was demolished in 1962. And where you got that railings there, that's where the Oakswell was situated, but it's no longer a well now, I don't think. And this particular complex was built in 1986. Anyway, we'll go right out of here and continue our journey down Walsall Street. And if we look ahead there as well, you can see this larger, this like barn-like structure. There used to be some shops there. At the top of my head, I can remember there being like a pet store just behind the bus stop. And one of the stores was also a off-licence, and the shop at the end was a chemist. I'll cross over here and just show you the old property there. It's called the Oakswell Coach House. I don't think any of these stores open anymore, but where you can see, I think I might be right in saying that Silden & Co, the chartered accountant, was once Edith Minet's shop. The famous fashion store where all the best and well-dressed women of Wednesbury would go to, where they had a 20-week club where you'd pay a deposit for an item and you can pay the rest on instalments over 20 weeks. They've recreated this store in the Black Country Museum. I remember the wooden framed cabinets with mirrors and all those drawers. I think there was upstairs where you could try on the clothes, and I think it was a daughter that ran the business until he closed down in 2006. Next to that, I think there used to be a barber's, that one with a white door. This was a garage, RFC Furniture. There's the parking. Now that building, the pub, parking, I don't think it opens anymore. It was opened in 1888 on the corner of Walsall Street, and it was still a pub at least in 2021, so well, I'm not sure when it actually closed, but I've seen it recently on the market and it's been marketed as a 4-bedroomed house. Now here is a Islamic centre, but it used to be it used to be a church. Can't really get a good view of it. It's covered in scaffolding, but it was the Trinity Congregational Church. It was erected here in 1904. Right, so all this is all changed now, because both sides of this road at Walsall Street were both colleges. Well, this is Kendrick Street, and these are flats now. Used to be operated by J9, but a bit of a state, isn't it, the side? Look, all looks like damp on the side of this wall. Yeah, the only reminder that we've got there was colleges on either side because of these metal railings here. And this was the Kendrick Street College, was opened in 1914, and they used to do a lot of machine shop engineering, electrical installation, metallurgy, welding. They also did photography, all up to City and Guilds standard. Remember City and Guilds? They did needlecraft, cooking, dressmaking, embroidery, and over there used to be gardening as well, over that side. Just ahead of me now is something called Carnegie Drive, but a house stood there once that was called Wolsey House, and it was the home to the former mayor and councillor John Knowles. We got Knowles Street, I think, named after him. But it was just another very historic building that was demolished. You can see, look, this is how much land this this college took. Look, you're all over there. We've got the SO garage now. It's like a mini supermarket now. Look at it. You've got Greggs, you've got Subway. This is Windmill Street, so named because right at the top of the hill, back in ancient times, there used to be a windmill. I don't think anybody would remember that. If I just pan you over, just here on the corner, there was a very solid looking pub here called the Castle, where this first detached house was. The Castle had stood there since 1841, but it was demolished in 1978. That building was once the benefit office, the unemployment benefit office. It's a driving test centre now. Just here we got the old stone yard. I'm not sure if it's still a gardening place, but certainly this Marie's Cafe, I think it was headstones. They used to sell headstones here, but it's a cafe now. How much is it for a bacon and an egg sausage sandwich? £3.20. Is that cheap? I don't know these days. Talking of cafes, you know, who remembers there a cafe just over there with that brown wicker fence? There used to be a cafe down there. Almost impossible to stop and visit it because parking was was horrendous along here at the best of times. But yeah, it was. I think it disappeared late 1970s. Now we come into some rather large houses along here. And also you'll be seeing on your right very shortly is Brunswick Park. And it's a strange place for a church up there, but up Vicar Street you can see a church there on the corner at the top. Not sure how popular that one is. It's Foley Street. Foley Street once had a chip shop down the bottom and an off licence more or less opposite Foley Street, but they're all long gone. Everything has disappeared along Walsall Street. Even the top of that tree over there, look. Brunswick Park has been there since 1887. It was opened to celebrate Queen Victoria's Jubilee. This is Clarkson Road. As I've said this before, Hillsborough there, that house used to be a doctor's surgery, Dr. Hammett. Many people still remember him, of course. He used to be on TV, on quiz shows. Bit of an eccentric, but very intelligent. And you went to see him in your surgery, he would always be smoking. Anyway, this is where we leave the chaos of Walsall Street to join the chaos of Wood Green Road. And we've still got this little George Raines letterbox in the wall. Don't see many of those these days. But you see on the lodge on the corner there, look, it's all like boarded up. There was a guy who used to live in there. He used to be a big Citizens Band amateur radio fanatic. Who remembers CB radio? Oh sure, that was a thing once, wasn't it? It was very popular in the 70s, 80s. And we used to have these aerials towering on your roof. This is a large property here, Calden House. Here on my left, it used to lie right back at one time. There's all large lawns and gardens at the front of it, but it's all been extended now. And you can see, if I just pan you around, just show you that residential home. Look, it's absolutely huge, you know. There's some very old properties here, all 1880s, 1890s, I'd imagine. This whole terrace along Wood Green. They're very hard to upkeep. I'd imagine some of these have turned into apartments now, or flats as you'd call them. And you can see a lot of the Some of the original walling is still there, but in a dire need for paint. The cemetery, and ahead of me there used to be the chapel, but I'm not sure. I think that got hit during the war, Second World War, and beyond there you can't quite make it out. It was a very old water pumping station. Wood Green Cemetery. Nobody gets buried in here anymore, I don't believe. And Wood Green nursing home. Again, another very large structure, but I think it was two houses, detached houses. The first pub we see here is the Horse and Jockey. Is that listed building? I can't remember if it was a listed building or not. Horse and Jockey, been there since, it's been there since 1818. I'll tell you what, some of these pubs, you know, got some great age. They really have. And most of the pubs you come across in the back country are all like at least mid-1800s, 1850s onwards. And I think they're having some, well, you can see they're having a bit of work done. It did close for a time, but it reopened in 1983. Now, there used to be a bowling green at the back of the Horse and Jockey. It used to be, where we got Hobbs Road, there used to be, where you see that, where you see the Hobbs Road street sign, there used to be another pub there called the Cottage. And the Cottage had been there since 1834. And it used to be kept by a very abrupt landlord. And it had an off licence on that one, which opened in 1965. But 2009, I think, when it all closed. We've got the Shrubbery nursing home over there on the left behind these lorries. There's the Shrubbery, they call it a rest home. A rest home. And we've got the Wednesbury Tennis Club, which has been there since 1903, over there. It's also the home of a cricket club and a gym, Ernie's Gym. Just over there we got John Fletcher Close. It's also the site of another college. There was quite a few colleges in the Wednesbury area back in the day. But yeah, we had just over there was the management. We called it the Management College, I think. They used to do accountancy, secretarial, and even language courses. I think it was a building that had been there since the 30s. Just down here in Brunswick Park Road, we have yet another pub, the Queen's Head. Just show you the Queen's Head. It's been there since 1901. Former M&B pub, and it opened, had a beer garden, opened up in 1975. Now, I don't know about this, but someone told me that this building here was once a police station. And I'm going to show you something else as well. Look at this on the drive here. Hey, it's a DeLorean. It's the first one I've ever seen in the flesh, as it were. Look at that. Hey, DeLorean. They're quite small, actually. Back to the Future. Yeah, I don't know if it was a police station, but somebody told me that. If you continue down Brunswick Park Road, you can take a left that leads you into Friar Park. But the Queen's Head's been there since 1901 and it's still going. This used to be a petrol garage. And it was a car rental place, and now it's something to do with tyres. Racks and racks of tyres. Yeah, this pub here, if you can't quite get to have a good look at it, it was Burker 1816. But this used to be the Star. And the Star has been here since 1868, and it closed in 1995 and became a Chinese restaurant, Jasper's Oriental, but now it's something else now. Nepalese Indian. This is Casimir restaurant. This used to be called the Woodman. And the Woodman has been here since 1834, but it closed at a similar time to the Star in 1996. It's a Mediterranean restaurant now. Yeah, it's a big resto now again, I think. There's a lot of them down here, isn't there? This is where you come to rest. That place is a mayhem. It's bedlam down here. Nothing's changed about the roads conditions, really. I mean, it's still extraordinarily busy and noisy. But what's left, eh? What's left of all the things I've just shown you are all gone now. Down here somewhere used to be the site of Elwell Forge, the Wednesbury Forge. They used to make tools, garden tools such as axes, spades, shovels, and then it became part of Spear and Jackson after the 1940s. And this is St Paul's Church, which was built in 1874 by the Elwell family. And all these large properties over there. And one of them was Portland House. I think it's that one at the end, isn't it? I think that was a maternity place at one time. But again, these look like as though they're care homes, rest homes, nursing homes. A better view of Portland House. We've got the site of a couple of schools down here as well now. We've got some Stute Bathurst on the left. And the Wood Green Academy here on the right, showing the correct time. The size of this place here, you see a lot of these springing up. Storage. What's it all about, this storage business? Where did people used to store their stuff back in the day? There's another one in Wednesbury, near the Mecca Bingo. Near the Mecca Bingo. Okay, this is the end of Wood Green Road. Then we've come to this huge motorway island. Just beyond, in the middle of that island, used to be Wood Green railway station, but that closed at 1912, I think. I don't think there's anything there to see. But yeah, so there you go. That's Wood Green Road for you. And if you look ahead of me, you can see all this huge amounts of traffic that swarm up here to the motorway, day and night. Well, what an absolute bedlam, wasn't it, down Walsall Street and Wood Green Road? And more importantly, of course, there's nothing left, is there? Absolutely nothing left of what once was a very thriving, prosperous couple of roads back in the day. There's only the Horse and Jockey, I think, that's left along Wood Green Road now. That is a pub. The Queen's Head, which is not strictly on Wood Green, it's just off there, but there's absolutely nothing left. I don't know if those... and then there was all these shops, wasn't there? That was along Walsall Street. They've all gone. it's just amazing now. If anybody came back here from the 1980s who lived along here, you'd see for themselves what an absolute carnage has happened along these streets. There's absolutely nothing left of what once was, as I said. But anyway, that's the story up and down and around the Black Country these days. Everything's changing, whether it's for the good or for the worse. I think most people agree it seems to be for the worst. Anyway, we leave it at that, and if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.